Hey everybody, Bungzy here with another ultralight review on ultralight backpacking. This is my newest installment in my water filter series. Check out the others if you haven't seen them already. Today I'm walking you through my preferred water filter kit, including some hacks to help along the way. While I do like the new kit on the block, the Katahdin Be Free, it is not my recommended setup. In a video down the road, I will break out why I prefer the following setup over the Be Free. So let's jump in and take a look at my recommended setup. For starters, I'm going to walk you through the components. The first component, obviously, is the filter. In my case, it's the new Sawyer microfilter, which is a component in Sawyer's new Sawyer Select system, which includes the filter plus this rubber bottle. The micro is smaller and lighter than the Sawyer Squeeze, and it doesn't give up anything on the flow rate. In fact, it might be faster since there's less space for the water to flow through. Check out my Sawyer Select video if you would like more information on this new product. Okay, first things first, get rid of this pull tab nozzle that comes with it. Why? Number one, I guarantee you will lose the protective cap. It falls off easily and it's easy to misplace. Besides leaving plastic in the wilderness, you'll also then be exposing the nozzle to your filthy hands as you open it, as well as unfiltered water that drips or splashes onto the nozzle, which then obviously goes straight into your mouth. I'd also point out that it's next to impossible to try and open this nozzle with your teeth. It therefore takes two hands to drink, and it's an awful design. So, bye-bye. Now, sometimes I fill my water bottle and drink directly from it through the filter. This is particularly handy if you are covering big miles. It easily adds up to 30 minutes to an hour over the course of the day if you're constantly stopping to filter water as you go. And with this, you don't even need to take off your pack. Just fill your empty bottle, put on the microfilter, and then drink as you go. This is another reason I love the new Sawyer microfilter. It doesn't get in the way. The bottle with the filter on it is easily stored and handled. Now, if you want to follow this approach, then replace that pull top with a flip cap from a smart water bottle, like this one. The flip cap is just that, a flip cap. It is super easy to open with one hand. There's no cap to drop and lose, and most importantly, it keeps the nozzle that goes in your mouth clean at all times. Your hands don't touch it, and the nozzle won't be splashed. Here's an important hack though. Take a permanent marker of some kind, like a paint pen or Sharpie, and color over the hinge like I've done here. Why? When hiking, it's only natural to not pay attention at times when you're pushing on the cap to open it. If you apply too much pressure in the wrong spot, it will snap right off, trust me. A little marker in the right spot will give you that visual clue you need. I would also suggest finding yourself a normal non-flip smart water cap, such as this, and keep it with your repair kit just in case you damage your flip top. It goes without saying, but a water bottle without a cap is not much of a water bottle. Now, this might sound a little over the top, but these caps have these pretty sharp little teeth on the inside. These teeth get caught on stuff and can puncture a Ziploc baggie. If that's by chance where you keep it. So I suggest taking a knife and shaving them off. It takes just a few seconds. It's really simple to do. Okay, as for bottles, I, like many others, love the smart water bottles. Why? They're cheap, they're light, and the perfect shape for most side pouches. Because they are taller than wider, they are easy to grab and put back than shorter, wider bottles. And on that point, here's another hack for you. By using taller, skinnier smart water bottles, you can fit two bottles into one side pouch, with many, though not all, backpacks. In one side pocket, I carry one 1-liter bottle and one smaller 20 fluid ounce bottle, which I use for electrolyte drinks. While we're on the subject of electrolytes, I highly recommend Noon tabs. Here's a tab. You simply break it in two along the crease, and then you just simply drop it in your bottle. They have these electrolytes have everything you need, plus no artificial sweeteners and just a drop of sugar. They come in tons of flavors, including some with caffeine. This one, for instance, is iced tea lemonade. I'll include a link in the video description. If you follow my lead on this, you'll obviously need to pre-filter the water for your smaller electrolyte bottle. You do not want to be running flavored water through your filter, just stating the obvious. Anyways, getting back to the bottles as I mentioned, I highly recommend trying to keep these two bottles consistently together in the same side pouch. Besides opening up the other side pouch to whatever you might need it for, like food, it also helps you stay more efficient. No more going back and forth juggling trekking poles from one hand to another, trying to find where your remaining water is. For me, my water is always on my left hip. So it just becomes habit. I don't have to worry about figure out where it is, and I don't have to juggle those trekking poles. Moving on, besides the two bottles, I'll also carry a 2-liter Evernew bladder, like this. Even if I don't need it, I like having it with me in case at night I need some more water so I can just keep going in the morning. It's important to note that the Sawyer filters screw on nicely to the Evernew bladders, and they don't screw on nicely to all bladders. Another hack. Be sure to mark your bottles if you're hiking with others. Markers tends to wear off, so I suggest putting a little sticker on it or something. Everyone uses these bottles, and they can easily be mixed up in camp if you're hiking with others. Now, instead of filtering on the go, if you would prefer to take a breather and filter your water when you collect the water, then you want to keep your filter with your bladder instead of with your bottle. So instead of putting the Smart Water flip top on your filter, I strongly recommend instead putting a Sawyer coupler on the tip of your filter and just leaving it there. Using a coupler is so much easier than doing that pogo stick like dance when you hold your clean bottle between your knees, all bent over as you try to squirt the clean water into your bottle. We've all done that before. This isn't just easier, but it also so much faster. It's also safer as it dramatically reduces the chance of some unfiltered water sneaking into your clean bottle from the outside of your dirty bag. Everyone thinks of the coupler as a back flush tool. It is, but it's so much more than that. I think it's the most overlooked and misunderstood piece of gear, in fact. And in case you're new to this, you also can use the coupler to back flush your filter if it gets clogged while you're on the trail. You don't need to pack that Sawyer syringe. Just reverse the setup and squeeze the water back through the filter. Now, if you're hiking on a trail where the water trickles and doesn't flow, then it makes sense to also bring a collection cup. Now, I have 3 versions for you to consider. Version 1, just take any old water bottle and cut off the nozzle. This is what most people tend to use. It's the cheapest, but it's not very durable or space efficient. I don't like this. Instead, if you happen to have an old platypus water bladder, you can use that. FYI, if you can also find an off-brand pretty cheap in places like supermarkets. They sell them as school water bottles. Now, this is important. You can actually make 2 scoopers out of one of these bladders by cutting it right down the middle. With the bottom end, here's an example, you have a light, packable, durable scoop. You can just open it and just scoop water as you go. With the other end, you have the makings of a scooper with a built-in filter. All you need is an old coffee filter or some other kind of stainless steel food-grade mesh. Cut off a silver dollar size patch and then shove it into the inside of your nozzle. Then reattach the nozzle. You fill the scoop through this end, all the while keeping the nozzle shut. Then when ready, you open the nozzle to fill your bottle. You now have a way to filter out heavy sediment when necessary. So to recap, if you are stopping and filtering water, then put the coupler on your filter and leave it with your filter. Then get a couple Smart Water flip caps and keep them on your Smart Water bottles. By the way, Smart Water does not sell the 1-liter bottle with flip caps, so don't bother trying to find them. You'll need to buy or find the smaller bottles and then just save the flip caps. One other important note on the Sawyer filters, they have a rubber gasket. Sawyer has improved them, but they can still fall out. I recommend throwing a backup gasket in your repair kit. If you ask Sawyer nicely, they'll mail you a replacement free of charge. Thank you, Sawyer. a sign of a great company in my opinion. So to recap, here are the components to my water kit and their weights for you gram weenies, and yes, I'm one of you. Starting with the Sawyer filter itself, it's 2.01 ounces. A 1 liter smart water bottle with the flip cap is 1.44 ounces. The smaller smart water bottle is 1.05 ounces. An extra smart water cap is zero point zero 0.01 ounces. It doesn't even show up actually. Same with the gasket. I just call it 0.01 ounces. The coupler is 0.14 ounces. The 2 liter Evernew bladder is 1.51 ounces. And the scoop varies, but I put it in as 0.52 ounces, and the whole kit comes in at 6.69 ounces. And that's all I have to say about that. So time to wrap up. I hope I gave you something to think about. In the next installment of my water series, I'll break down for you why I recommend this setup over the admittedly compelling Katahdin Be-Free system that everyone else loves. In the meantime, subscribe to my channel by clicking the Bungzy logo in the bottom right-hand corner of this video, and I'll catch you on my next ultralight review on ultralight backpacking.